Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on the stock market technical analysis. We're going to get right into it. If you're new to the channel, drop me a thumbs up as you go along if you're finding value in the channel. I continue to try to put out trade ideas that are profitable. So again, at the end of the day, everything on this channel is just my ideas. I can't give financial advice or anything like that. And then also, guys, if you're interested in joining the private membership group, basically, this morning I was giving all kinds of commentary about the markets and trade ideas in that private membership group. So if you're interested in getting some of that up-to-date information, go ahead and join. Link in the description below. Or if you're on a PC or something, you should see a join button where the old subscribe button is. If you're on an iPhone, they don't have that subscribe button. Finally, guys, if you're interested in learning this as a skill set and not just following along with my YouTube videos, then you're going to want to take my technical analysis course. That's going to give you the skill set, really a lot of the learnings that you're going to need to follow along. Also find your own chart and trade ideas. So link in the description below on that if you're interested. It's not free. I don't give away my time for free, but I did price it affordable. Okay, I think that's important to make this affordable for all. And it's investing in yourself with your education. So check that out if you're interested. Link in the description below. All right, let's get into it, guys. If we're going to rally in the market, and that's what I'm thinking, I think we do rally from here. I think it's going to happen pretty soon. Now, likely what the market's going to do, there's a jobs report coming out tomorrow. So it's likely going to set up for that news event. When the jobs report comes out, maybe there'll be some job loss. It's a weird world we live in, but basically, if there's some job losses, then the market's going to see that as giving the Fed the opportunity to ease back on their rate hike policy. And that's what I think it's going to do. The charts are set up that way. They're set up to be a kind of a bullish move tomorrow. And I'll show you guys what I'm seeing in the charts. Okay, first off, I noticed in the futures, really last night and then this morning, we'll look at that because the futures got some negative news from the NVIDIA China thing that's going on. So I saw that the futures were dropping, but basically I kind of looked at those futures and here's what I got. Here's the NASDAQ futures. Look at that. Bullish falling wedge. That's a bullish pattern right there. Bullish divergence telling you that the momentum is actually increasing. Smart money sees this and they're likely anticipating a rally, and I am too. Now, there is no breakout on the futures. We don't have a buy signal or anything like that. And at the end of the day, I don't trade futures, but I definitely keep an eye on them. So we have a bullish pattern. We have a bullish divergence telling me that we should rally. The projected move on this rally, you take the widest part of the wedge, you move it to, it's basically right there. At the end of the day, it's setting us up for a move up to about that 827. All right, and that's where I think we rally to, somewhere right in there. Okay, so that's the setup on the NASDAQ futures. SPY futures, same kind of setup. So you can see here, bullish falling wedge, bullish divergence. This is just an hourly chart, but again, it is setting us up for a move likely going to happen tomorrow. And so the selling that we're seeing this morning is, from my perspective, looks like running stops, just shaking people out basically. Okay, so bullish setup on the SPY, the S&P 500 futures. Okay, now no buy signal, you don't have a breakout, but again, if we see that breakout, then this thing should run. And then the small cap futures, they look a little different. We're getting, and again, the small caps, they're not the market, they're not going to move the market. They kind of do their own thing sometimes. But here's the small cap futures. You do have this bullish falling wedge. We're undercutting it to the downside. This looks like stop rate action to me, stop running action. So you have bullish divergence, clean bullish divergence. The setup's still there. You're just getting kind of a breakdown of this wedge. This basically, you see this sometimes where the market makers and the market will basically run down here, clear all the stops, suck in any kind of late to the party shorts, and then reverse. So that's what I'm thinking it does here, probably tomorrow. I don't think we go down too much more on the futures, and then probably reverse tomorrow. Looking at the triple Qs, we are at good support. So if I roll out here, just focus on kind of my cursor, but you can see This was resistance. It's about that 296.50. Resistance, resistance, and then it was support. Okay, we're right down there. We've pretty much had a pretty swift move straight down to that support. We should get a bounce here. Okay, the probability says we get a bounce here. We still have some bullish divergence on the RSI. Let me zoom in there. It's just barely there, kind of flatline, right? Bullish divergence, but lower price. So we should get a bounce here. No guarantees, of course. Maybe we don't, but we should. Again, those futures are set up. The futures are really telling me the true story. The Qs doesn't have as clean of a look, but the futures are telling me what's likely going to happen probably in the overnight or early morning session after the jobs report comes out tomorrow morning. That's likely where we're going to see that bullish move. And then the Qs will likely gap up. And that's what I'm expecting. Honestly, I'm expecting the Qs to probably gap up above this 301.50 area right here, gap up, and then just start to run. Again, that's kind of the setup. Doesn't have to play out that way, but that's my read on it right now. Oil stocks, oil continues to, it's kind of range bound, but it is getting rejected. Here's the oil futures. It was rejected at the 200-day here, so we might see oil actually continue to sell off. The reason being, I'm seeing like these oil stocks. I missed this trade here, guys, just to point it out. So I'm not taking it, but something like DVN, you can see I had this bullish or bearish rising wedge pattern, and we broke to the downside. Started to put in negative divergence just barely on the hourly, but we are getting that pullback. Now I don't have a trade on that one. Nothing that I'm too interested. Here's XLE. You can see, again, we still are holding a bullish trend. So longer term, oil still looks bullish to me, but we might pull back to this trend line down here. Okay. I'm not trading any oil stocks right now. I just don't see anything worth trading, but I definitely want to kind of point that out. And then let's look at the gold and the dollar. So the DXY popping again today. So at the end of the day, the dollar DXY is in this bullish trend right here, and that has not been broken. So no sell signals, nothing to actually do there except remain long if you are long. But we do have negative divergence on the daily chart that continues to build, and it has not been negated. So as long as that divergence remains, I see this probably going like this. You know, we grind around, continue up, and then eventually, because the momentum's fading, we're going to break this trend line. We just have to wait for that sell signal. So when that breaks, then the dollar should fall, and you should see gold rise and all that. Gold's coming down to some major support here. You look here at gold bullion. The support is about 1680. You can see support. It was support through here. It was resistance back here. And then it was support again right there. So lots of reactions at that 1680. We got another reaction here. We're back down at it. I think we're probably going to break it to the downside. And here's my thoughts on this. I think we break it, and then it's a false breakdown, and we hold and recover and bounce. Okay, I'm not taking any trades on gold per se, but you know, I could see that us breaking below, running a bunch of stops, because there's all these stops. This is really good support, so there should be a bunch of stops set underneath that 1680. So if you break that, you should run down, flush out all those stops, and then what I'd be looking for is a recovery of 1680. So from my perspective, I'm not taking a trade on it until if it breaks 1680, I'm waiting until it recovers 1680. If you can recover that 1680, then gold should run because you'll have a false breakdown. On the momentum indicators, and the reason why I'm not really interested in taking the breakdown yet, I don't have bullish divergence quite yet. Now, if we break soon and then it can recover and rally, we'll have potential divergence. You know, we have kind of potential divergence right now, but we don't have a new low. So what I'm thinking is it breaks, maybe sets us up with that divergence on the momentum, and then we recover, and that would signal our false breakout. And that would be our buy signal in my perspective, the recovery of 1680 if you have the divergence in play. All right, until then, I don't see anything. The miners, though, GDX, here's GDX here. You can see it is still holding bullish divergence. and we have this bullish falling wedge here. We have a breakout and a back test, and today is kind of an objective area to actually take a shot at a long. So I did take a little stab at it, nothing huge, just took a shot here to see if we can hold here and then rally. We had the bullish divergence and we're back testing, so it's everything I need to go long. And for the miners, I'm also watching Newmont. It's the largest gold miner. Again, Newmont, the thing that, it's not anything I'm really interested in yet, but you can see here on the hourly, still have the bullish divergence. Here's the PPO, so clear bullish divergence there, and the RSI is just kind of barely hanging on to it, but it does still have it. So these lows that we keep making in Newmont are divergent lows. If we can turn up here, pretty much, I'd expect it to turn up here pretty soon. Turn up here, that's going to continue to hold that divergence. And then at the end of the day, if I go to the daily, I'm really kind of more looking for a buy signal, which would be a breakout on this daily chart. It's right about there. You'd need to break to the upside, get that buy signal. We just don't see that yet. So just kind of pointing out the situation and the setup, the potential setup. Nothing to trade on this yet. Okay, LLY, talking about this one for a while. Again, we're getting a little reaction here as expected. All right, right there at that trend line, 350 or so. Little bit bounce there. I don't think it's going to last too long, but I could see this holding up for a day or two. And if we rally tomorrow, then yeah, you maybe get the bounce. I'm remaining short on this one and just willing to ride out whatever kind of bounce they throw at us on this one in the next couple days. Ultimately, the target still remains 284, and I think we're heading down there. So again, if you've been following me along on this one so far, this back test that we talked about right up here is playing out. The thing's dropped about 7%, probably due for probably a bear flag price action. Maybe we flag out over a couple days, rally up maybe about the halfway point or so, 310, and then boom, flush down to 284. That's what I'm looking for on that, probably. So no change there, remaining short. Quick look at the FANG stocks, because again, they're the market cap weighted, the heavy hitters in the market. Amazon looks like it's going to run down and fill this gap here at about 123. A little bit more to go, probably fill that gap and should hold support there, at least for a bounce. Again, I think Amazon's going a lot lower, but I think we should bounce here. Google, I don't see anything in Google right now. We're just kind of in this chop zone, so nothing really telling there for Google. Microsoft's coming into some support right here. You can see as I zoom in, that's decent support. I mean, that's this red trend line here, and you can see support. There's COVID drop, support. Okay, support, and we're right there at it. So, it's at support. Now we could break, if the jobs thing comes out and it's bearish, we could have that flush down and break. If Microsoft starts to break this area, the Qs is likely not going to get that bounce, and we're going to continue lower. So keep that on your radar. Going back to the Q. Oh, and then let me cover Apple real quick. Apple's just had this little gap to fill. It's just such a minor gap. There also is some support right down here at about 151. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see any key level that it's at. If it rallies here, that's going to hold this little gap that it filled yesterday. Otherwise, yeah, it could go lower down there. So all right, that's it on the FANG stocks, guys. That's all I have for this morning. I'm going to get the video out. Obviously, I could be wrong. We might just continue to sell down. You see triple Qs starting to kind of break down a little bit. But again, I go back to the futures and I see this bullish setup, and it's really hard to look past this. Even though the price action today is bearish, they're likely just running stops, making everything seem extremely bearish, because this setup right here tells me that there's going to be a bullish breakout to the upside, and likely tomorrow morning. So just have to kind of ride it out today, most likely. If you're looking to go long, probably just going to have to ride out the kind of the price action today. give it a little room because we do have that jobs report tomorrow, and we have this bullish setup. So if this gets taken out, then, you know, I'm just wrong. So that's it, guys. I'll get the video out and catch you on the next one. Bye.